Bonjour et bienvenue. Today is 3-minute Thursday, so intro please. A couple months ago, I decided to get really serious in my photography, but then I quickly found out that finding models is very, very difficult, and also working with people's schedules is even more difficult. So then the show must go on, so I decided that I'm gonna be my own model and I'm gonna be my own photographer. So here's some examples right here. So let's put 3 minutes on the clock and let's talk about how to take your own self-portrait. All right, so the first thing that you're gonna need is a camera, so that goes without saying. But you don't need like a fancy camera. You can use a phone. If that's all you have, just use whatever you have. Just make sure that it takes pictures. The second thing that you're gonna need is a tripod. This is not 1000% like required, but it definitely makes things a little bit more easier. If you don't have a tripod, you can definitely be creative and use a chair. You can use a table. You can use a couple books. Whatever you need to, just don't make any excuses. There also are tripods for phones if you have your phone. But I got my tripod, literally 20 bucks from Best Buy. I shoot vertical now just because my pictures live and breathe on Instagram, and that's the format. And I just don't wanna crop and do all the other stuff that I used to do. So I shoot vertical now. Next thing that you're gonna need is an app or a timer. So my actual camera lets me connect to my phone via Wi-Fi. And so that's how I take my pictures. But you can use a remote as well, or you can use a timer. So just set the timer on and then run back to your spot and then serve face, like boom. So the next thing that you're gonna need is an actual light source. So if you're outside, you can definitely use that big, beautiful sun. It's big enough to share. But if you're inside, you can use artificial lights like I do. I'll link a video in the cards above where I talked about the lights. But you can also use the sun as well. Just find a window. Just make sure that you're lit. So your background, it goes without saying, of course you're gonna have something behind you, whether it's a wall or maybe some forest. So depending on where you decide to take your picture, whether that's inside, whether it's outdoors, just make sure that your background is not distracting your viewer from you, which is a subject. You don't want the background to take away from your shine and your glow. Just make sure that you move things around. Maybe that's furniture, maybe that's cleaning off your seamless background paper like I use. Your background does not have to be complicated or expensive whatsoever. You can literally take a tablecloth and put it on your wall and just use that. But just make sure it does not distract your viewer from you. Welcome to my self-portrait session. So what I'm doing right now is I'm basically trying to find exactly what kind of picture I want to take. I'm finding my angles. What do I like best? I've already set out my backdrop, and ignore the backdrop because it's wrinkly, it's old, I need to change it out. And I've already set up my light. I have one light, and once again, I'll link in the cards above. And I'm just trying to find my angles. Like I said before, I'm looking at my phone and then watching exactly how I am proportioned to the camera. Let's look at the pictures that I took. So taking your picture is not gonna be super easy. You're not gonna get it right away. Sometimes I take 30, 40, even 100 pictures before I get like 2 pictures that I actually really like. But when I do find those pictures that speak to my soul, it's like I'm falling in love all over again. That's pretty much it. Now you're off to self-portrait heaven. If you wanna see any of my pictures, you can definitely follow me on my Instagram at bb.jayeola. You already know the routine. If your fingers are feeling extra clicky, definitely like this video. And if your heart is telling you to subscribe, then go ahead and subscribe. And P.S. I'm sure that I probably went over 3 minutes. And I'll see you in the next video.